4 down, 4 to go, 4 challengers for Christian Cage's title, and we're going to find out tonight who the 4th man is going to be in the King of the Mountain Championship match. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for another TNA review, this time for the 1st of June 2006. We're getting into June, halfway through 2006, and I think that TNA is getting better and better. Didn't start off the year too great in my opinion, but it's picking up now and we're beginning to see some solid shows week in, week out.
Come on everybody, it's summertime. It's the beginning of summer. Kurt Angle on the horizon, Sting full time, Christian Cage. I mean, hopefully that reign will get better. Scott Steiner's here, the Dudleys, they need to win the tag titles and go to the next level. AJ Styles transitioning into the main event scene. Samoa Joe as well. What's not to love about TNA right now?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're probably like 2 more ECWs away from Kurt Angle.
Aye, calling it quits.
Aye, and leaving WWE, so...
Yeah, TNA's get better painkillers.
So, I would say that Kurt Angle arrival in TNA is imminent. I'm going to... I mean, it must be in the next, 3 months?
Oh,
4 months?
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe, I don't know, by... But I don't know, but it's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. Kurt Angle, can't wait. Right, so we've got Christian Cage, obviously, in the King of the Mountain match. He is joined so far by Abyss and Ron Killings. And tonight and next week, we're going to find out who the last 2 men will be. Raven, Jarrett, Steiner, and Sting are the last 4 options. 2 of them will be in, 2 of them will be out. We start the show with Jeff Jarrett. Makes his way down to the ramp. He goes to the announcer's desk. He wants to know who he's wrestling tonight. Tenay says, "You'll find out when we find out, buddy." West, he asks West if West knows. West denies knowing. Jarrett says Steiner wants to know, and Steiner comes out. Steiner points at Tenay, tells him to call Larry Sabisco. You call Larry. Then we get Steiner grabbing Don West. He throws Don West into the ring. They're grabbing Don West by the shirt, by the collar. Last week, they roughed him up a little bit. This week, looks like they're about to batter him. But Sting comes out to make the save. Sting comes out, hits his forearms, his backhand punches, clears house. Jarrett then attempts to run up the ramp, but he runs into Raven, who has came down the ramp. He starts beating up Jarrett with right hands. 4 men get in the ring. And then a couple of clotheslines over the top rope. We get Raven and Sting left in the ring, and Jarrett and Steiner retreat up the ramp. And Tenay builds up the possible matches that we could see tonight. Still don't know who the main event match will be. But yeah, I mean, good opener here. And yeah, I mean, either way, you're getting 4 interesting matchups.
Exactly what you want to see. Steiner, bullying Don West. And this is a problem with modern wrestling because the wrestlers are just outsized and outmuscled by the commentary team, unless it's Michael Cole, brother. But that shouldn't be that. I mean, see Steiner putting his gigantic arms over the announce table and grabbing both of these guys, man. That's the way it should be.
See if Johnny Gargano put his arms over the announce table and grabbed Wade Barrett, you'd expect Barrett to beat the shit out of him.
I know.
But nobody's expecting Don West to rip his shirt off and beat down Steiner.
And obviously there is exceptions, right? When you have like Taz and Jerry Lawler on commentary, but they would never... they would be fearful of the bigger guys. They would never, pretend they're going to batter Brock Lesnar. But they would still hold their own.
Yeah, against a Stevie Richards or something.
But this, obviously Don West never been a competitor, and Mike Tenay's always been a bit of a shite bag. But I like this segment, put over these 4. And actually Raven, for the first time, it feels like in 2006, looking good.
Looking good. Right, NWA Tag Champs, America's Most Wanted take on the Naturals. Feel like we've seen this match a lot in the past year. Nothing new here, really. Non-title match. America's Most Wanted win. Wasn't horrible, but
wasn't good.
Just seen it enough times. Don't really need to see it again.
I know what the thing is, right? There's one thing seeing it a lot. Maybe change up the winners.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to always end with America's Most Wanted winning. Is what it is. Shane Douglas comes out on the ramp. He looks down as the Naturals are bleeding, and that's pretty much it. Shane Douglas not impressed with the Naturals at this point, so yeah, we go backstage. Borash is with Alex Shelley. He's asking him about hooking up his wagon to Big Sexy. That's a big wagon. Can those quads carry it? I don't know. Shelley says what he does with his video camera is nobody's business. but his. Nash comes in and he calls it complete propaganda that Borash is spewing here. Says that only he can make Shelley a star. Only he can take a guy like Alex Shelley for the X Division and turn him into a TV star. Nash says, who's he wrestling tonight? And he asks him, has he got his camera? Shelley says he does, but he's lost the tripod. Nash says, don't worry, I got your tripod right here, and looks down. So yeah, obviously referring to his penis as the
Easy
tripod
there,
here.
Tripod. Easy there, tripod.
And of course, WrestleFeud don't like this, but I thought it was funny. I'm enjoying
funny, right?
the Kevin Nash
And
stuff.
let's be honest, right? Maybe apart from like the odd thing Alex Shelley did, like winning the tag titles and beating Team 3D, this is easily this guy's best work. Getting partnered with Kevin Nash is great. Here, well, you know what? The stuff he did with Sting was also great when he was filming him and his kids, which sounds weird, brother, but this is Alex Shelley is most interesting. If you want the guy to do flips and have no character, why? Why? I mean, yeah, you want to put over new guys, but if he wants him hanging around with Nash and filming Stings, as good as it's going to get for this guy.
Yeah, he takes on Jay Lethal. Nash at ringside. Thought the match was a bit too long for my liking. Again, wasn't a horrible match. It was an alright match, decent match. Lethal, though, wins. A bit surprising. Wasn't expecting that. After the match, though, Nash comes in, beats down Lethal, attacks him from behind. Chris Sabin runs out, attacks Shelley. Kevin Nash gets out of there. Kevin Nash doesn't want any of Sabin. Sabin then starts, calling out Nash. Tells him to man up. Tells him to attack him when his back is not turned. Sabin says he's checked his calendar for June 18th, and it turns out he's free. So he offers a match to Kevin Nash. He tells Alex Shelley, if your boy want to meet me, then we can go one-on-one in the ring. Sabin says he can prove to Nash what Nash's wife has been telling him for years, that size doesn't matter. And this is pretty good because Nash has been saying over the past few weeks that size does matter. So it was interesting. I guess we're going to get Sabin Nash at the... I hope we're getting Sabin Nash and it doesn't turn out to be Sabin Shelley.
Yeah, that
would be extremely disappointing.
It did give me vibes though of like Nash and Rock when he fell out with Rock, and when McMahon said you could join the unemployment line like your buddy Scott Hall. I almost feel like these cut deep with Nash. He's always got that like bitter look to his face, doesn't he, after like promos like this?
Yeah, you can't really tell if he's selling or if he's legitimately pissed.
Yeah.
Which I guess is good.
No,
I mean, that's what you want.
You want the lines to be blurred.
So I like this. It was good. We then get Samoa Joe doing a sit-down interview. He says that Sting wanted him there for one reason, to have his back from bell to bell. And when the bell was done at the end, when the bell rang for the final time, he was done. He'd done what Sting asked him to do. Says what Sting ever done for him. That's why he didn't help Sting. Then he talks about Steiner. Says Steiner can't punk him out. And the clock is ticking. And it's ticking. And it's ticking. And he knows that Steiner can't take someone like him. And he wants to know when Steiner's going to step up. Take him on one-on-one. I mean, it was basically just Joe really calling out Steiner without really saying anything too deep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Joe and Steiner, but I mean, I think what we're all looking forward to is that big fucking headbutt for Kurt Angle and Joe.
Yeah, Joe said that Steiner doesn't want Joe to ruin his career, basically ruin his reputation in one match, because that's what's going to happen. Steiner, has been billed as the big bad footy daddy, but Joe reckons he can.
Joe's the big bad footy daddy.
We then go backstage with Borash with Team 3D. They're asking him about the James Gang parody last week. Ray thinks it's hysterical. He says they're funny guys. When they did it 8 years ago, it was funny, and last week it was funny too. He talks about them doing a parody of the Nation Domination. We got Ray and Devon arguing. Devon says that Ray's gaining weight, but Ray then jokes that Devon was there when the doctor told him that he's got a thyroid problem, buddy. So, they also talk about Philly, and they say that they took it too far. You can call the Muller a whore, and maybe Devon's Muller is a whore, but you can't make fun of Philadelphia. You can't make fun of ECW, the Bingo Hall. The Bingo Hall,
Philadelphia.
The Bingo Hall is off limits.
Yeah, the bingo. I mean, it's funny though because it's like, yeah, you can do blackface, call her mother's a whore. Yeah, you can make fun of my weight, but the bingo hall's secret. And it was quite serious about it though. The tone changed, and I liked it, man.
Yeah, they also ran down the new ECW again. So I mean,
It's a bit cheap, isn't it?
I mean, I think they just need to move on. Bubba then talked about meeting the James gang, and they're going to find out once and for all who is the best team. Devon finishes the promo with the testify line, and when Devon walks away, Ray turns around and says to Borash that they need to get that guy another line, which I thought was pretty funny.
That was a pretty good line there. And you know what? I think Team 3D, if they just stopped the wee digs at ECW, they've been hitting the promos at the park recently.
No, good. Yeah, so we got Tenay and West. They talk about Team 3D. They talk about the James gang. Looks like we're going to get it at Slammiversary. We then get Styles and Daniels in Larry Sabisco's office. He says he's sick of giving them opportunities, but he's going to give them one more. But they can never come back. They can never ask him again. He's sick of dishing them out. But they tell him that they won't be back because after this next opportunity, they are going to win. They're going to be the tag champs. And they say they've got a way of neutralising Gail Kim. We then get ref Slick Johnson who comes in. And he says the new face of TNA management may be here tonight. But if he's not here tonight, he'll be here next week. So we don't need to wait until Slammiversary.
Technically it's the same night though. They filmed 4 in one night.
So whether it's tonight or next week, we're going to find out who the new face of TNA management is. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, like, no wonder. I'm surprised TNA didn't get more people back. Like, how did they not get Goldberg and guys like that? Here, you work like 2 nights a week.
No, I think it's mental when people try and claim that TNA is in its prime now. I remember when they were saying in 2001, 2022, oh, TNA is in its prime.
Yeah.
I think TNA is probably better right now in 2025 than it was a few years ago. But
Yeah.
people pretend like the last 5 years of TNA has been its peak years.
No.
I mean, what the fuck? This stuff's actually really good. I mean, TNA 06 is great. I like it. I enjoy
Look at the
it.
ratings. Look at the people they've got. I mean, come on. Who are we trying to kid here?
Yeah, we then see Borash with LAX. He goes to their protest position at the Spanish broadcast table.
No gringo ese.
Yeah, but there's a line and he's not allowed to cross it. I guess it's like the border line. Mexicans can't cross it into America.
Fernandez got to do the border
So
pass.
Borash can't cross the line into the Spanish broadcast table. So that was pretty decent. We then get a video package. Christian talks about the King of the Mountain match, saying that no champion has walked in and walked out with a belt. He's going to be the first to change that. And then it gets announced it's Jarrett with Gail Kim taking on Raven. And this was a great main event. Starting the match, brawled up the ramp, brawled into the crowd, brawled backstage, guys throwing themselves through tables, throwing each other through tables. Just a really good match. Then they get back in the ring. You've got finishing maneuvers being hit. You got Larry Sabisco coming out.
Battering refs.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the guitar. He takes the guitar off Raven, and then he takes the guitar off Jarrett. So you were thinking that maybe he was out there to screw Raven. Looks like he was legitimately out there to make sure the match was straight down the middle. Although you could argue if they're allowed to brawl at the back and put each other through tables, then what's a guitar shot? But anyway, who are we to judge that? Raven, though, attempts to hit Jarrett with a guitar. Unfortunately, Jarrett ducks and Raven knocks out Larry Sabisco. Raven then gets hit with a low blow from Jarrett, and Jarrett gets the stroke. He hits the stroke.
My world. What I liked about this, I think Jeff Jarrett's very underrated when it comes to these sort of matches.
No, he is. He hits the stroke on Raven, gets the pinfall, and Jarrett is going on to the King of the Mountain. And I guess that means next week it's going to be Steiner versus Sting. The match that we've wanted to see. Looks like we're going to get to see it. Steiner's been begging for it. Next week he's finally going to get what he asked for. And we end the show with the Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush. And it was an adrenaline.
What a great ending though. Great match. I mean, that song makes you want to tune in next week.
Probably the best match we've seen in a while.
I don't recall if Steiner and Sting had a match in WCW. I'm going to go on a limb and say they did. Even if it was like, Joker Sting or whatever against dog styler. But I mean, what a dream match that is.
But look at
On
TNA,
telly.
you know, it's 1 hour long, and it's so fast paced. You're going from match to segment to promo to set. I mean, they're backstage, they're in the crowd, they're in a locker room, they're in the ring. It's so many different segments and promos and matches you're getting in an hour. And you look at wrestling today, it's so fucking slow and boring and drawn out.
No, I know it's ridiculous today. And in fact, you know what, man? Wrestling. See if you don't have the stars and you don't have the roster, an hour's better than two, undoubtedly.
No, absolutely. So, you know what? I thought it was a great episode of TNA. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was great. Yeah, the main event, best main event I think we've seen in a long time. Best TV match I've seen in a long time, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I think the main event just was the cherry on top.
Yeah, it was great, and you know what? A wee bit sad not to see Raven in the match, but I didn't expect him to beat Jeff Jarrett. So
No, I mean, as good as it got for Raven was getting a bit of comeuppance on.
although
Larry.
I mean, could we have seen a world where Raven beats Jarrett, Steiner beats Sting, and then we get Jarrett versus Steiner at Slammiversary? Did Jarrett and Sting really need to be in that match?
No, but I guess it adds to the star power levels, I guess.
It does, but I think the match is the King of the Mountain match. I think sells itself.
It does, but I actually can't even remember, but I'm going to go on a limb and say Christian wins it.
Can we get Raven versus Raven versus Nabisco at Slammiversary? Maybe. Anyway, guys, that's it. 8 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.